that should do. Today, we're at Victoria's Western Port. It's a great fishery. It's got a whole lot of species on offer. It's getting towards the back end of summer. It's supposed to be warm. It's quite cool at the moment. And today, I'm fishing the very bottom end of the port, chasing what's hopefully some very big King George whiting. Further up, there's huge numbers of fish at the moment, but I love coming down to these areas where it's not about the big bags, but it is about the big fish. Down there, you've got the Knobbies and Seal Rock, Flinders, Bass Strait, and right now we're in that sort of Balnarring, Somers, Shoreham area. On a map, it's hard to tell where we are because the coastline curves around. I've come down, sounded around, just found a bit of rough ground, anchored up. We've got the burley out, we've got the rods in. Fingers crossed it's all going to happen. Don't know this tide. It's plugging away down deep, but that's a good sign. Yeah, could be. Could be what we're after. That short dive, yep, there we go. Very good indicator of a whiting. They do that straight down sort of dive near the boat, and that is why you come down to the bottom end of Western Port. That was my bait, a bit of fresh squid. And that is why I love fishing the bottom of Western Port. That's not a big whiting for this part of the world, but the whiting are almost different. They're real chromy silver. And as you can see, rather than brown spots, they get these yellowy sort of spots to them, and they just clobber the baits. That's a little KS1 J hook. And I love these hooks for down here. I like a slightly bigger hook on these whiting because I'm always chasing, in this part of the world, the biggest whiting you can. Bigger baits, bigger hooks. It seems to work for me. That's the first one going in the ice. Really good tip with your whiting fishing, and you can probably use it in a lot of aspects of fishing, is to be really well organised. What can quite often happen here is that the action will happen, it will happen very quickly, and it might only go for 10 or 15 minutes, and in that time you can catch yourself a bunch of beautiful fish, but you don't want to be re-rigging or trying to get bait ready and stuff. So while I'm waiting for some bites, I'm just shelling some pippies, getting them all ready, popping them out of the shells, and then on the big pippies I can even get, you know, one like this that I might not want it to be a whole bait, just chop it in half. And then what I'm doing is I'm putting them into little containers there. In here I've got tenderised squid strips. Here I've got some pilchard fillets because pilly fillets are great for big whiting as well. And then that there's just got a couple of spare sinkers in it, because it is important to change your sinkers. In the deeper water you might need more lead, and certainly once you get into the shallows out of the tide a bit, you can drop down your sinker size. The other one, you don't need a massive tackle box. I've just got my little box full of KL and KS Black Magic hooks, some tiny little swivels, a couple of beads, and that saves me from having to dig around and rummage around. When the action's happening, you just get straight back into the fishing. Up in the rack, I've got another spare whiting rod rigged in case one snaps off or something. I can just grab that and get straight back into the action.